4, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Football Experience. Today we're going to be talking about the games we predicted from last week and reacting to those, and then we're going to be predicting some of the international games, as well as talking about the England team, which has been selected as well. So we're going to start off with Southampton versus Newcastle. So the game started off well with Che Adams. He took a shot, which was saved, and then it went across to a Newcastle player that got tackled by Walker Peters, and then to Walcott, and then Walcott passed it to Che Adams, who finished it off. It was a
Good
nice
finish as
finish
well.
as well. Yeah, a very good finish.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, to be fair, in total the game went pretty well. Uh, do you see Gineppe's flick pass across to Walcott, which
Yeah.
nearly went in?
Yeah, that was good. That was the one that Walker ended up missing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um yeah, I mean on that first Saints goal, the only thing I would question on a Newcastle point of view is like the Newcastle defender that started dribbling it out from defence just before it. I'm not sort of too sure what he
yeah.
is, but I mean apart from that, I think Saints were very good in that game. Sort of kept up the form. I didn't expect it to be honest without him.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Romeo nearly scored one top corner as well, so I didn't know what.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like saved onto the bar, wasn't it? But I mean, yeah, it was like I felt like Saints were playing on the counter a lot, which is
Yeah,
fine. But they just do it well. They get in behind every time with it.
there was a penalty shout as well. Did you see the Walcott one?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I didn't quite
Uh,
understand why that. The
You'd
VAR
have
went to
to,
VAR as well.
yeah, I was watching it a minute ago, and they were just sort of saying, like even though he touched the ball at some point,
Yeah,
like he went straight through it. So I don't quite understand that, especially when
and
you see in the other games some of the other
yeah,
penalties given for. I mean, I know it's
handballs.
different handball, but it's still like
It's
it's ridiculous.
yeah. And to be fair, Armstrong's last goal, it was quite a good goal as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
with good ball control on that.
He's
But
someone
in
I've never really like understood how good he was until recently.
yeah,
Like, a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, we want Armstrong on the right," and I was like, I didn't really see what he actually brought to the team. But
yeah. And yeah,
yeah,
to be fair, yeah, and then Saints went top at that time,
yeah, yeah.
only for about 5 hours or so. But
Not too sure on the choice to bring out a shirt with Saints at the top of the table on. But um,
I might have got a bit carried away and put in my story that we're going to win the league, but you
I'm pretty sure every Saints fan does that. I went through, I saw at least like 20 in
know.
all my stories. It was ridiculous. Another thing that happened, he ruined Joe Linton's big moment. What a header that was. And then
Yeah.
there's McCarthy's
Uh,
face. Oh,
it was a bit mental. Let's move on to the Chelsea game.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, that one started off
yeah,
interesting.
you started off
Off
1-0
that
down.
corner. Yeah, I mean, the corner was like, we sort of just switched off. Like, Kante and Ziyech were marking the two players from the corner. And
Yeah,
then they both went towards one of them.
yeah.
And then the other one was just free to cross it in. And then McGoldrick did some weird flick.
It was like a weird flick. It was a right finish for him, but it was
He,
just a bit
he
weird,
scored
the whole
he scored
situation.
4 Premier League goals, and 3 of them against us. Like, how?
Yeah, so on oh sorry, we're just going for the Saints one, we're just gonna say well, I predicted 2-0, you predicted 1-0, and then Mark was there predicted 1-0. So none of us got that one right. On the Chelsea game, I predicted 4-0, you predicted 3-0, and Mark predicted 3-0. So no one got the score right.
We're all around the right area,
Yeah,
though.
I got the right amount of goals, just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I didn't expect Sheffield United to actually score.
Neither did I. That's why I was so
Yeah.
scared after 5 minutes when it happened. But then,
Mm,
I mean, thing is, you look at that and you look at the reactions from those sort of goals, and I think last season we would have struggled.
yeah.
This season, like, I mean, for a start, Ziyech, he was man of the match.
Yeah,
Rightly so,
Ziyech
he
had
was
a great game.
incredible.
The
Like,
Chilwell goal. That
yeah, It's just like all of the crosses that he does look like they're going somewhere. Like they look like they could easily end up with a goal every time he does it. Like you see the free kick to Silva.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have, to be honest. Especially when on the right back you've got James crossing it in a slightly different way as well. Unreal.
Yeah, James, he's a class player, Reece James.
Yeah. And you've got Chilwell who does cross it in from the left as well. It's like it's a nice position to be in, I have to say.
Yeah. Thiago Silva had a good game as well.
Yeah, he was class. He's just like solid. I know we conceded for the first time in the Premier League under with Mendy in goal, but
yeah,
you know, it was one of the. I mean, Mendy couldn't have done anything about that, really, could he? So,
yeah. One thing I want to ask you is about Chilwell, because at the start, I remember when you were signing him, you weren't too happy with the of who you could have got at left back. You got Chilwell. How do you think he's played this season so far?
Yeah, I think like when we were signing him, I remember saying to people, I was like, you know, I'm not too sure on him, but
Yeah,
whoever Lampard decides is the right person for that job, like
yeah.
I back. That's pretty much what I always went with, and I thought at the time I look at I think Tagliafico or Reguilon, who's I mean obviously he's played right for Spurs, but I think we'd probably end up performance-wise with the best of the options that we had.
Yeah.
Obviously at the time I wasn't sure, but he seems to just fit into this. Like the thing is, the first game he played, he felt like he fitted in to that team.
He just seemed to just want English left back. Is seemed to be what he was going for.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, if you've got one of that caliber, obviously he must have seen something if he wanted to bring it in. So.
Yeah, Werner, nice finish at the end as well. It was a good goal.
Yeah, he missed one just before as well. He tried to put it over the keeper, and he was so confused when it went wide. You could see his face. It was.
Yeah.
But still, he made up for it. He scored that second one. So.
Yeah. So you guys went. Wait, let me just have a look for you. You guys are fifth in the league at the moment.
I think if we'd have had Mendy since the start, I think could be a different story. But because realistically, like as much as like you know, results can go anyways. Like I doubt we would have conceded 3 against West Brom for a start. And I mean, the result still may have ended up as a draw, but that one goal against Saints that essentially made it a draw would not have happened if it was Mendy and goal. So if you look at the difference in what our points could have been if we didn't, you know, draw against West Brom and draw against Saints, like that's looking at an incredible start if we didn't get those results. So
is Petr Cech actually training with you? So I saw something.
I think he is.
He isn't. So
I think sure. Apparently he's. I know he was training at one point. I don't know. I assume he still is to an extent, but I think he's more like just sort of keeping himself fit. You know, if say Mendy gets injured, I probably would rather Cech come back in than Kepa, to be honest.
Yeah, Willie Cavallero.
So this is the thing. Cavallero is older than Cech.
It just seems a bit of a waste him being there.
Yeah. So he's still about. I'm sure he's still alright.
Yeah. So, he just seems to be someone who, if everyone's injured, you stick him and go.
It's fine by me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next game, which was Liverpool City. So I predicted 3-2 Liverpool. You predicted 3-2 City, and Mark predicted 2-1 City. It ended up being a 1-1 draw, so none of us are right again.
To be fair, it was a good first half. Was very, very good. It was, you know, constant attacking football. It was class, and then the second half was just a bit dead.
Yeah, the penalty. It was a pen. It wasn't the biggest challenge for a pen, but it was just one of those, which was.
Was that the Walker one?
Yeah, the one where Robertson passed to Mane and Mane got taken down by Walker.
Yeah, that was Mane just got in front of him and Walker took a stupid risk, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good finish for a penalty, to be fair to say.
Yeah. I mean, Edison had to react straight away if he wanted to save the Salah penalty.
Yeah.
It just it's just one of those things. Like he hits it hard and into one of the corners. So you got to take that risk of going either way.
Yeah. And then Gabriel Jesus scored, which it was a good finish by him. But with De Bruyne, De Bruyne then missed the penalty close to the end. It was a weird, like you don't expect that type of pen from De Bruyne. You expect him to at least put on target.
Like, yeah, I wrote down here like this is the least expected outcome of that penalty. If you were like just in theory, if you're betting on what you think is going to happen from the penalty,
Yeah,
a goal, any possible outcome, like him heading it wide is not something you expect.
yeah, like I've put a terrible pen for De Bruyne by his standards. Because when it comes to De Bruyne, you expect him to be putting it in a corner or doing something, not just smacking it wide.
But I suppose that does come with if you take the risk of trying to hit it in the corner, you're going to miss some.
To be fair to De Bruyne, he did create a lot in the game.
Yeah, he played well still. It's not sort of looking at his performance at all, but I suppose looking at that penalty, he'll be disappointed, I think.
The thing with the game was City had 7 shots, Liverpool had 10, but Liverpool only had 3 on target and City had 2 on target. So when it came to the actual finishing aspect, both teams weren't great.
No, they weren't.
But there's not really much to talk about that game really, because it was just a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, I expected more goals to be honest, but
like we all predicted like quite a few goals.
Like, I think Mark's with 4 goals was the lowest.
Yeah, Mark's was 2-1. Yeah, we were both 3-2 the other way. So, but let's move on to Arsenal versus Villa. So for the predictions for Arsenal Villa, I put 2-1 Arsenal. You did 2-0, and then Mark did 1-0. Ended up being 3-0 Villa.
We were definitely all wrong on this. Our predictions haven't been great. I'm not gonna lie.
No, we haven't got a single one right.
I mean, I don't think many people would. I know Villa are playing well, but I would never have put 3-0 Villa.
Yeah, I was listening to what we said last week to check what we were saying, and you were like, you said even though Villa lost the Saints, you could still tell they were going to play well, but I guess you just didn't expect them to play as well. Like,
I thought Arsenal probably would play a little bit better.
Yeah. Because
I think they were unlucky to. I think they were unlucky. Well, unlucky per se to lose 3-0.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they had 1 or 2 chances that they really should have scored. Like that, I think it was Rob Holding that had one right in front of the goal. I know he's a centre back, but he should be putting that away.
Grealish had another class game as well.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I think that the Barkley and Grealish, like they're the attacking sort of midfielders in that side, and I think it is really working for them.
Yeah,
Barkley got at least. I think Barkley got one of the assists. Grealish, I believe, got one of the others. So,
yeah. Lacazette, when they were 1-0 down as well, Lacazette missed a header, which if you finish that, like it could just change the game. So it wasn't like Arsenal didn't have chances.
They definitely had chances. Another thing I've sort of noticed from this Villa side, like at the start of the season, I mean, this is another prediction thing that's going to look really bad on us. But looking at the league table predictions, we both had Villa in like 19th.
Oh no!
I'm just remembering back, but I know that I was saying. To be fair though, this was before they got like certain players. Yeah. But I said, I'm not sure whether Watkins will be up to the Premier League standard.
Yeah, and he scored 2.
To be fair, I didn't know much about him, but
I knew he scored a few in the Championship, but the difference in the Championship and Premier League is a lot. So
exactly, it took Che Adams like a year to actually get involved, and he was a really, really good player in the Championship. So you're looking at sort of how other players are going to do, and he's obviously just fitted in well. Like he's there. He's like he feels like he should be in a Premier League side as well. I wouldn't question it for a second.
Yeah, Matt Target had a good game as well with the assist to make it 1-0.
Yeah.
As well, so in total, Villa did have a good game. But you just didn't really expect them to win that easily, and and Arsenal not to score at least a goal. I would love to know how many people predicted that win. I don't think many would have.
I think it is worrying for Arsenal because they're all saying, Arteta knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle games and stuff. And I personally thought he was a good manager too. I'm not saying this result, changes whether he's a good manager or not, but
yeah,
I would be a little bit worried, like the fact that he couldn't. They didn't. Although they had a couple of good chances, like they didn't create that much.
Yeah.
Like the fact that one of their chances was from one of their centre backs to the other, and then the other one was to Lacazette who missed.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't give you too much to really be happy about for that game.
Yeah, 100%. So let's move on to Wolves versus Leicester. So this was a 1-0 win to Leicester, but I predicted 1-0 Wolves. You predicted 1-0 Wolves. Mark predicted 2-1 Wolves. So another prediction which is not the right one again.
We should have predicted that Vardy was going to score at some point.
Yeah.
I think it was a really, really dead game.
Yeah, it was a handball penalty, which was a bit.
It was a bit dodgy, but to be fair, that second penalty that Vardy missed.
Yeah.
That was quite a bad tackle. So.
Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah, that was from.
I know he missed that one, but still, thing is that is the rule now, and it would have been the same if it was the other way. As painful as it is for them. Like it happened in the Liverpool game as well for the De Bruyne penalty.
Yeah.
Like it was a similar thing. As long as they keep the standards the same for every team, then they can't complain too much.
Yeah, the rule is a bit annoying when it happens to you, but it is as long as it happens to every team, you can't really complain about it. But it's because with the old rule, it was almost like an opinion too much rather than an actual rule, which did cause a lot of problems because the same thing could happen to different teams, but because the refs are different, they'll have a different opinion on if it's a foul or not.
Yeah, I mean the only other thing that really happened in the game apart from the penalties is sort of later on in the game, Schmeichel hadn't had to do much in that save.
Yeah,
the Ruben Neves shot.
Yeah, it was a good save for Schmeichel. But yeah, in total, Leicester played pretty well. I think Podent didn't play too bad either.
No, he was alright.
He did quite a good few runs as well. But yeah, Vardy, what have we written here? Oh yeah, after the penalty, do you see when he missed the penalty and it hit Vardy? And I was thinking if that went in, that would have been frustrating things as a keeper.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell whether it was going in at the time. It just sort of hits off him, and
yeah,
that's what it is. Bit of a dead game, but fair play to Leicester. Get the points. All that matters.
So now we're going to move on to it's now international break, so we're just going to talk about some of the games and do some predictions for those. Let's start off on Portugal versus France. What have you predicted for that? Because I have predicted 2-1.
But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I've gone 2-1 Portugal. What have you gone for?
I went for 2-1. Wait, Portugal France, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I went France 2-1, not Portugal. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I actually went the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that France will win it. They have a really good team, but I mean they'll probably end up having Giroud up front for it. I don't quite know how he gets in ahead of. But he's their first choice striker.
The thing is with Giroud is he's such a weird player, but he's just it just will work. It's one of those things. Yeah. Why is Giroud there? But he'll still score and he'll still play well.
He's not a bad player at all, even for us. But it does confuse me how he's ahead of Griezmann, in their team. But they've got the midfield to do anything. Pogba, Kante work together well.
Yeah, 100%. I remember seeing a tweet about Giroud, and it was like, if you got a compilation of all of his best goals, you'd think he's the best player in the world.
I mean, some of the things he's done is just unreal.
Especially in the FA Cup semi-final against Saints when he ran past.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful. Honestly.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to take much either. Like all he did was just sort of weave in and out a little bit.
Yeah, it's just so
And
frustrating. Yeah, and Portugal, they've got a decent team, but I think when you compare them to France, they're not.
no, it
They're
is
not.
literally relying on Ronaldo. You know, they used to have a bit of a solid defense. Like I
Yeah,
like obviously they have a decent keeper in Patricio. Um, Honestly, I'm
yeah,
trying to. I mean, it's supposed to be half the Wolves team, isn't it? So
yeah, pretty much.
you
Yeah,
got
it's basically
Semedo.
Wolves against
Yeah,
France.
like yeah. So I think France will have enough to win it, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ronaldo got one still.
Yeah, I can imagine Ronaldo getting one, but I don't think their team has enough to be able to take it over the line for a win. Um, yeah, so let's move on to England versus Belgium. I've gone for 3-2 England, gone for the high hopes. What have you gone for?
I've gone for the more realistic. I've gone 2-2. I
Okay.
think I think we will get a point out of it, but I think it'll be one of those annoying ones that like I don't think it'll be like oh my god we got back into it. I think we'll play well at the start, get a couple of goals, and then it'll be really disappointing. Just
Probably.
like always. That's just what I imagine to happen.
Will everyone be tweeting it's coming home? And then
Yeah, halfway through the game it's coming home all over Twitter, and then Belgium will just get some stupid goals back. I mean, if they have all their best players, then we are like you know we managed to keep De Bruyne like really quiet last time we played them.
yeah,
So
because they got De Bruyne, Lukaku, Hazard. Yeah, they got very strong attack.
yeah, Hazard didn't play last time either. So
No, yeah, so gotta hope he doesn't play again,
yeah,
but he probably will.
yeah, because we
Uh,
managed to win the last one, didn't we?
yeah,
2-1.
I think so. Did we?
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
and then we lost to Denmark, getting the same. It's not real, honestly.
yeah. It's just gonna be one of those games where if we can get something out of that's a class result.
We kind
Like
of
that,
need to as well if we want to stay in the Nations League now. Oh,
yeah,
like in our group, sorry, in the Group A or whatever it
yeah,
is.
100%. So let's move on to Spain versus Holland. I've gone 1-0 Holland. What have you gone for?
I've gone 1-1. I think Holland will concede because they don't have the luxury of having Van Dijk like usual at the back.
Yeah,
So I mean I know they still have a decent back line, but they still play that Veltman that doesn't even get in the Brighton team every week. They play him quite a lot still. I don't think their defence apart from Van Dijk is like obviously they got Delict, they got I don't even know their wing backs to be honest. I can't think of it, but
yeah, they got a decent midfield and they have an alright attack. The defense will be interesting to see how they can cope without Van Dijk because he's someone who they will rely on so heavily.
I think Spain are always a team that are able to be quite well structured.
With Sergio
And
Ramos at the back, you're always going to have that.
yeah, I think they will get. I can see a draw. I can't see either team running away from it, running away
Yeah.
with it too much. Personally.
Yeah, so that game will be quite interesting to see what can happen in the end.
Mm.
Now let's move on to a game which just does scare me a bit, but England Iceland. just
Yeah, brings
I'm just
back
getting
memories,
flashbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully it's not the same as when Roy Hodgson was manager.
You know
Uh,
what? If we lose it, we don't deserve to go through in the group anyway. Like I am worried. Don't get me wrong, because you never know what can happen with England.
yeah,
Like as we said last time, you can go from beating Belgium to losing to Denmark in 2 seconds.
yeah.
Like
I just got PT. I'm scared at Iceland now. Right, I've gone for a 1-0 England. So I've
I've
gone
gone
a
for
bit,
2-0.
but I might, you know what? I'm going to change that one. I'm going to go 2-1. I just feel like Iceland are going to score against us. I just can't.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think with England, you never know. Like you are sort of a bit more on edge with watching England than you are at any other point, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so that game will be one which will be interesting to see if it's one of those things where in their minds they've just got like a fear of them, or whether they are able to cope against Iceland. Because realistically, it is a team which we should just be beating anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's move on to the last game we're predicting, which is Germany versus Spain. I've gone 2-1 Germany. What have you gone
I've
for?
actually gone 3-0 Germany.
Okay.
So I've gone for a bit of a bigger win. I'm back in the Chelsea boys. Germany. I know, do we have any Spanish anymore? I think they were left now. All of our Spanish players.
Better?
Oh yeah, true. I don't know how much he actually plays for them though.
No, I'm not sure.
Anyway, we Werner and Havertz usually play together in this team. Although Havertz probably won't be able to play, will he? Actually, thinking about that.
No, yeah, he probably won't. Yeah, but Werner still.
Yeah.
He's a very good player, and he's played with these players quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because with Chelsea, because he hasn't played with Chelsea players as much, you kind of are not surprised that he's kind of not scored as many as people would have thought from earlier on. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna score. I've gone 2-1, but I feel like he's gonna probably score 2 of those goals.
And then I don't know about the rest of their team really. I just have a feeling Germany are gonna take Spain down this time.
Yeah. Yeah, but Bayern were a solid team last year, so a lot of their players are still in their team, obviously. With at right back they got, what's his name? Kimmich? Is he?
Oh yeah.
Not Kimmel. That's not.
I was wondering what about.
He's that TV presenter, isn't he, in America?
Same anyway. Yeah, Kimmich. I think he's started to play a bit more like defensive mid now. For both teams. But I mean, yeah, he's a cross. He's still fairly young, I think. But he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's also he's the captain of Bayern now, I believe.
Is he? Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Doesn't surprise me.
He's a leader. Mats Hummels as well. He's good player. They've got quite a few good defenders as well as good attackers. So as a total, their team seems to be improving from when they did win the World Cup, and then a lot of their players seem to have retired and all sorts. They seem to be building back up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say about that game?
No, I think we've said most of it.
So those are our predictions, which we probably won't get anything right from.
They will probably be completely wrong. So bet against all of our predictions.
Yeah. So I wouldn't trust that if you're doing that. But we'll talk about the England team for a bit. So Ward-Prowse was in the team, and he's now withdrawn from the team, and Jude Bellingham is now in the team, which is an interesting decision, I'd say.
I think that I don't think there was anyone else that he particularly wanted to call up this time around. I have a feeling that he was just, he just saw the opportunity to just give him the experience of playing in an England camp.
Yeah, just
maybe give him some minutes in the friendly, give him maybe, if we're winning, it's the minutes in another game. But I think it was more for the experience than for an actual squad player.
It'd be interesting to see if he does come on, how long it is for, because it'll probably be a sub appearance for a short period of time. He hasn't played that much first team. He's been playing off the bench a lot. I think he's played off the bench 5 times in little competitions, and
he's played 190 minutes since he's been
there. He's only been on for 90 minutes. So it's just one of those things he's probably thinking about for the future.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the England team in general that's been called up. Obviously, Arnold's also out now.
Yeah.
After getting that injury in the City game, they didn't replace him, so we are. I mean, we've got right backs. Luckily, right back is a position where we're fairly strong. The only issue is Another right back that we have called up, Reece James, is obviously suspended for the Nations League.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have Arnold, we don't have James for the Nations League, meaning we're down to Trippier, Walker potentially if they're playing 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Um,
Walker plays a lot of centre back for England now, doesn't
he? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe if it's 4, he'll play right back, but
yeah,
depends. I actually don't mind him at centre back. I think he's
I think he's a good player. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but realistically, you're looking at Trippier, you're looking at potentially Maitland-Niles, even though I think he plays a lot on the left now.
Yeah.
As well. So, but I mean, the thing is, you are looking at it like Chilwell's back now as well.
Yeah.
And realistically, he is probably the best left back in the England squad. You've got Saka to play some minutes as well. If they play Trippier and Maitland-Niles on the right, and then whoever out of Chilwell and Saka for whatever game they need to do it, I think that's probably the best way.
I'm not sure how well Trippier's played in Spain, obviously.
I'm not too keen,
yeah.
but I mean, without Arnold or James, we could have done with Wan-Bissaka this time around. We should have probably just. I don't know what's going on with him though, because I think he was looking at potentially switching nationality so that he could actually get some games on.
Oh really?
Yeah. There was something came out about him changing his in his Instagram bio. He had like the England flag, and then he changed it out for the Congo flag or something.
Oh shit.
So
yeah.
Like, you know, he wanted to change to them so that he could play international football, which is fair enough.
Yeah, it's like the Zaha situation, I guess. At the time, Zaha wasn't getting any football, so obviously, you're gonna do it. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you can't really get annoyed with them because realistically, they just want to play football, and if they're not going to get it, then it's fair enough trying to change your nationality so you can play.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the midfield as well, like obviously we have Foden, Henderson, Mount, Rice, Ward-Prowse, not Ward-Prowse, sorry, he's out. So we have Wiggs, and Bellingham,
yeah.
I just have a feeling he's going to do the same again and play 2 defensive midfielders and have no creativity. That's my worry. I think if we don't, we need either like in those 2 midfield players that he always plays. If obviously we do the 5, we need to have one of Henderson, Foden, because we can't go with the same what did we have last time? I think it was Rice and like Dyer or something.
Yeah.
In defensive mid, and it was so boring to watch.
Because the team's changed a bit as well. Because Danny Ings was in the last one, and obviously he's injured, so he's been taken out. So there's been quite a few injuries. We've had as a nation.
Yeah, I mean, look, the attack is still looking good. Like, you know, we've got Kane, we've got Rashford, we've got Sancho, Sterling. That's enough. But what you've also got is Grealish, who brings a completely different sort of. You know, Southgate doesn't seem to be too keen on him.
Yeah, I don't get that because he's such a creative player. It's like
I think he probably just doesn't follow like the structure of the team or something like that. He maybe runs out of position a bit, which isn't like a problem if he's doing what he does.
Yeah, I think Grealish is a bit unlucky in that sense that he doesn't really, because it's not like he plays bad. He has good games, but he just doesn't fit into Southgate's style, unfortunately.
But I'm hoping he gets a bit more of a chance this time. You know, apart from those 4, so you've got Grealish, you've got Calvert-Lewin, you've got Abraham. You know, they all bring something to the team.
Yeah, 100%.
So
it could be interesting to see how those games go with the team we've got. As
what do you think of the?
Sorry,
what do you think of the Ireland game? I know it's not friendly, but
if we lose that one, then I think we should just drop out. That's the
thing
game we've got to be winning easy, comfortably. Like
that one, we'll be playing every backup player we can potentially.
Yeah, Jude Bellingham might be playing in that. Like that's what I kind of expect.
I hope he does, to be honest, just to see. The thing is, it'll be him and Harry Winks in the field, won't it?
Yeah.
and that is not something I ever expected for England.
Yeah.
An unknown Bellingham and Harry Winks. That's good.
How old is Harry
And
Winks
then
now? 24 or something?
I don't know.
25?
I don't really like him that much, to be honest.
No, I'm not a very big fan of him. I don't think he really is good enough to be playing for Tottenham, if I'm honest. But,
No. Hence, well, I mean, he does get game time as well, doesn't he? That's the
yeah.
worrying thing.
Yeah,
They're
I
doing
thought,
all right, so you can't fault it too much. But
Mm.
I mean, you'll probably see Connor Cody in that game. You'll probably see Maitland-Niles play a lot of that game. Saka maybe. Actually, no, James will play that one because otherwise it's a bit pointless him being called up in the first place. Because he
yeah,
can't play the Nations League. James will probably play that one, and then maybe Winks and Bellingham, and then I can see Abraham playing that first one probably.
yeah, yeah. Abraham probably does deserve to play, considering his form in the Premier League.
Just
Well.
to give him like one of the
Yeah,
games, I think, because
Yeah,
you want Kane up front in the other ones, like realistically, or Calvert-Lewin even.
yeah,
But
100%. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, that's our thoughts on England, as well as all our predictions and our reactions. So this episode is a bit longer than the other ones, but we've also got a face cam which will be on YouTube, as well as the audios which is on Spotify, Apple, Google, and a load of other ones.
yeah, a load of other ones.
Yeah.
They'll all be
So
in
the
the description.
description, yeah. Yeah. Also, if you are on Apple, if you could give a rating, that'd be great. Um, and yeah, that's been our episode 4 of the podcast. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you later. Well,